Welcome. This is for October 26th, Blessed Reformation Day to those of us that are celebrating and lifting up Reformation. We're in the narrative lectionary. We're in 1 Kings, chapter 5 and chapter 8. This is, this is Solomon's temple. Maybe it'll probably be linked to St. Peter's cathedral there. What I'm thinking is that, there's two temples that we need to be cognizant of, and that is Solomon's temple and the temple that is Jesus Christ. In 1 Kings, we have the building of the temple and God's glory filling it, whereas, especially in the Gospel of John, we have Jesus prophesying the destruction of the temple. Now, the temple of Jesus' day was one that was built to replace the temple that of Solomon, because the first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians near 600 years earlier. The destruction of the first temple was old news by the time that Jesus was around, and that's evidenced by the renovation and expansion under Herod the Great. But the key here is the wound of its destruction still carried significant cultural weight. And that Jesus' prophecy of the temple's destruction it's in all four Gospels, testifies to the impact it would have had on its hearers. Now, while neither the first or the second temple probably means much to you, and I know I'm a bit of a biblical nerd, what I'm getting at on this Reformation Sunday is that it's no secret that congregational life is it's undergoing a transformation in these United States, which many are experiencing as destruction. Like the temple of Jesus' time, many of our members spent decades of their lives building something up, which is now needing to undergo a radical change if it's going to meet the needs of our world as it is today. And with that in mind, what can these passages say together for us today? Now, for those on the younger or newer end, those members who have a sober hopefulness for what's ahead for the church, these passages bid us to attend to the loss among us. Our eagerness for the new thing that God is doing should not deafen us to the grief of those who like Solomon, experienced the joy of building a place where they truly came to know God and it came to an end. It's a mistake to criticize those who are mourning the loss of something as somehow failing to trust in God doing a new thing, even as they might resist those changes as a form of denial that, change is a-coming. For those who are experiencing these feelings of loss, these passages remind us that destruction and rebuilding are part of the essence of what it means for a temple to belong to God. We built, not we. Let me rephrase that. God built a temple for God's self in Jesus Christ for the expressed purpose that it would be torn down, also that God could raise it up again and raise you up with it. Now, we don't have to like destruction and change, nor are we called to be agents of it. The idea that we're called to change the church by hastening its destruction is, here too rejected. As destruction always comes from without, not from within. What we can find here is the call to be faithful in the midst of change. This is both a faithfulness to one another as we mourn change, and a faithfulness to a God who, well, works salvation from destruction and does a new thing always and only for our benefit. What was given by God and what will be given, well, they have one thing in common: the heart of God's abiding love with and for you. Blessings on your week. What you do matters, and I am so grateful for your partnership in this gospel.
In Christ we aspire to journey with one another in grace, in faith, in love and service.